Hey guys, right here with the Club Global again, teaching men around the world to be men of the world. And today, we're going to talk about emotions. Or rather, how to control your emotions. I see a lot of buzz these days online trying to promote men to be more sensitive. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to get upset. Need a shoulder to lean on. I'm here to tell you, don't do that. Alright? Now, first and foremost, I want to get this out of the way. I am not advocating to not feel any emotions. As a man, your emotions are important, your feelings are important. That's human, to feel things. That is important. Do not try to make yourself into a fucking robot, alright? But what is important as a man is controlling your emotions, alright? Losing your cool, putting your fist through a wall, bawling like a little girl, alright? Wanting to kill yourself because your girlfriend broke up with you or something. All that shit is for the birds. That's not how a man should be conducting himself. So, you need to feel, but you need to have control of those feelings. That is one of the ultimate tests in life of being a man, is having full control over your emotions. I would even argue that is what it is to be a man, right? Having a sense of stoicism. You know, and being able to keep your cool in any scenario. Alright, because I cannot tell you how many men I have seen in their lives just destroy themselves based on their own emotions. Being very reactionary, being overreactive, and just being a slave to their feelings. You need to keep your wits about you as a man. It's extremely important. Let's talk about a few prime examples. Alright? And this can be simple stuff. Say you got feelings for a new chick you just met, alright, and you're texting her, you guys are talking, whatever, and you're just texting her nonstop. You're just super romantic, you're just feeling the vibe with this girl, you just want to talk to her all the time, and you end up just texting her way too damn much. All right, you're too damn needy. You're giving in too much to those fluffy feelings of emotion. You gotta rein those in. All right. Say you don't get a promotion at your job or something, and you freak out on your boss, and you break something or whatever. Then you get fired. Well, instead of just not making more money, now you're making no money. Right? Say you go through some kind of adversity, right? Like you lose your job, or you get injured, or, your best friend moves away, and your compadres across the country or something. What are you going to do? You move on, all right? You find a way to make it work. What are you going to do? You going to give up? All right? You got one life. Find a way to move on, adapt. That's something that humans are incredibly good at, is adapting. Embrace that part of yourself. Embrace adaptation. Embrace growth. Going through extreme emotional anguish is a great opportunity to grow and become a better person. Don't languish in it and treat it as a time to fall apart. That's not what happens when emotions run high. Use that time to be strong. And back to my original statement, all this stuff online about men should be sensitive, express yourself, talk about your feelings. No man is ever going to be rewarded for being emotional. Trust me on that. No one's handing out medals for dudes being sappy pussies and crying about the problems. Remember what I said in the other video about how your problems in life are your problems, right? Self-sufficiency. Nobody's really going to care that much about your problems and your path in life besides you. So what good does it do you to whine to people about it? And there's certainly ways to have an emotional outlet, all right? You could play music, lift weights, work on cars, all right? Or just hang out with your buddies, have a good time. There's ways to emotionally heal yourself without destroying yourself, without doing it in unhealthy ways. And I would consider, whining to people, ruining your relationships, those are unhealthy ways of doing it. You need to be in control of your emotions. If you lose a bunch of money on a bad stock position or whatever, don't flip out, all right? You're going to go homeless, you broke, you're going to beaten out of house and home, is your life over? No. You'll find a way to get back up, all right? How many of you out there have been living paycheck to paycheck and then say 1 week you get paid and that entire paycheck goes to your rent or has to go to some bill, right? And you got $4 in your checking account that you got to make that last for the next 2 weeks. Find a way to do it, don't you? You're not on the street on your ass. You're not begging for change. You're not going starving. You find a way to make it work. So understand that you can't be a slave to your emotions. There's always a way out. Things will always get better. But you need to be in control of that stuff. That's a strong sign of masculinity. All right? Being in control of your emotions. Not being a slave to your mind. All right? Your mind's a muscle. You make that muscle work. That muscle doesn't make you work. That's the key right there. So how do you control your emotions? Is there like some kind of magic to it? I mean, no, not really. But a good way to start is whenever things happen that get you upset, get you angry, or get you sad, try to adopt an abundance mindset, an abundance mentality. That no matter what things go wrong in this world, there's more to life. There's more to be had. If a girl you like doesn't want to see you anymore, or you're seeing somebody and they break up with you, there's more girls. There's 4 billion of them. You can find another one. That's probably going to be a lot better looking, a lot more into you, more compatible, everything. The chances of that happening are extremely high. Right? If you lose your job or you're broke right now, there's tons of money in the world. There's tons of ways to make money. And getting better financially is extremely tangible. You can learn financial literacy. And there are tried and true ways to make more money, have more money in your bank account, and just feel more financially secure. Never the end of the world. There's always a way out. Right? So even something even harder. Maybe you have a death in your family, you lose a parent, you lose a loved one, a sibling, or a good friend. All right? They're gone for good. That's tragic and that's hard. And you should mourn for them. You should grieve. It's an important part of, like I said, being human. Is having feelings and expressing them. But have control over them. Don't let that grief consume your life. You want to be that guy where every time you go out with your friends and people take you around, you're just the mopey, sorry sap who's crying about so-and-so who died years and years and years ago. No. Have your time to grieve, but understand that life goes on, and you'll find more people in your life that are going to be important to you. All right? It's not the end of the world. It's never the end of the world until you're dead. Which brings me to the suicide topic. All right? There are men out there who contemplate the ultimate solution to their temporary problem, which is ending their lives. That's a terrible way out. That's a weak cowardice mindset. You have to understand the abundance. There's so much to life. There's so many more things that a tragedy here and a tragedy there, you can't let it consume you. You can't let it take you over. There is so many people and experiences and opportunities in this world that no one person will ever even be able to come close to tapping into in their entire lifetime. So take advantage of as many of them as you can while you're here on this earth. Don't squander it by being sad and dwelling on the terrible things that you can't control. Again, with self-sufficiency, what's the one thing in the world you can control? Yourself, your mind. That's the only thing you have control over. And it would behoove you to learn to master it. And that's kind of what the main point of this particular video is right here, is mastering your own mind. You would be blown away by the things that you can accomplish and achieve by having control of your emotions. And this goes along with a similar lesson that all these other Let's Talk videos I do kind of bring up, is that if you cultivate this mindset, if you're able to have control of your emotions, be a man who is stoic, who's of sound mind, that's going to translate to other people. Folks are going to notice that. All right, friends, potential business partners and colleagues, all right, romantic interests, they're all going to pick up on that aspect of yourself. Making, well, this guy, he's got his shit together. He's got his ducks in a row. He's a guy who can keep his cool in any scenario. And that's worth its weight in gold, because a lot of men can't. Especially nowadays, man. A lot of men are just have a very weak constitution in that regard. They just can't get it together. And because of that, just having control over your feelings puts you leagues ahead of 90% of the other men out there. All right? The emotional aspect is something that a lot of men get really hung up on. And it just destroys a lot of them. That's where you're gonna be able to come out ahead. All right? Control your mind. If you can control that, you can make a lot of really great things happen for yourself. And that's the big takeaway from this video. Control up here. Master that. Everything else will come into place, I promise you. With that, this is Ray, signing out.